Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another capsule selection. Today, we're going to dive into the most magnificent scent accords in perfumery, in my honest opinion. This scent accord is one that is built around oud and amber. Not one alone, not one indescriptive, not one to be thought of as anything other than the combination of the two notes. This, for me, is one of the genres that really calls to me in perfumery. I love what oud and amber smells like, and what it portrays for me, not only in its artistic side and its artisanal side, but also in its polished poshness and luxurious and exclusivity when it comes to a certain scent profile on a human being. And that, for me, oud and amber really does it. So if this sounds like the type of content you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dry Down, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the understanding of the different aromas, facets, and nuance of scent, cigars, and wines. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome to today's experience. Today we were sitting back relaxing. As I stated, we're going to talk about the magnificent smell of oud with amber. And today we're going to sit back and sip a little Macallan Rare Cask. We've been enjoying the day with a new a vintage LP of mine, which is one of my favorite trumpeters. This is Donald Byrd, and he is one of the best trumpeters you would ever hear. The sound that resonates off his trumpet is wonderful. This is an album called The New Perspective, and this is a great LP. If you are a listener of jazz music, that's a great one to do. And like I said, the Rare Cask, this is a nice spicy whiskey, heavily in oriental spices like the cinnamons, the toasted caraway, stuff like that, with a lot of oak and caramel, with a little bit of dried fruit on the nose. Very spicy, very smooth, very caramelic. This is a great whiskey if you're into whiskeys. But let's get here what we came here for today. We're going to dive into fragrances that are one of, if not my most favorite of all genres. This is something that I really have found a passion for when it came to perfumery, when I got into perfumery, and that is the accords of oud and amber. And so today I want to present to you guys 12 fragrances in my collection that are representative of that particular scent accord and variation and subgenre inside of perfumery. And there are just phenomenal scents that I think all of you should get your nose on, at least sample at least once in your lifetime. First, we're going to start out with the scent of XANDRIA. And XANDRIA is a scent done in a collection by the House of Ormond Jane. This is a very warm, spicy take on the genre of amber and oud. This one has a lot of rum, a lot of cinnamon, a little bit of musk, apple, and the amber accord is based around a well-developed vanilla amber. Very sweet, very charismatic fragrance, one that goes off very well in the cool temperature, that brings a lot of character to the wearer. This one here is a lot spicier than you would expect it to be, because there are some notes that I don't see listed, I perceive, such as a nicely spiced cumin accord. It's not the funk of it. It's not what we have come to expect with cumin. Sometimes it can smell of a little bit of a body odor smell, which is sometimes misleading in the way a scent goes off. But when it comes to that actual accord that has that very stark, almost astringent and austere style of spice to it, this is one that has it, and it goes off well with that apple, cinnamon, and oud inside of it. Once again, for the accords of oud and amber, check out Ormond Jane's XANDRIA. Next up on this list, guys, this is a particular list that I could just go on wax poetic about, but I'll keep it as brief as I possibly can with a lot of these fragrances, because I think that you guys should have your own perception, but still know where I have my mindset wrapped around these particular scents. And this one here is from the House of Electimus, and this is Amber Aquilaria. Aquilaria is a term used for the tree, the agarwood tree, which we get the derivative resin from, or sap from, which is oud. And for me, this one is a very performative interjector into anyone's life. This is a conduit to exploration. This is a journey fragrance. This is not one that comes off as a mass appealing fragrance. It's not one that comes off as something super sensual, but it very much so is a taking upon a journey fragrance that is very phenomenal when I wear this particular scent. It's almost this ethereal, warm coziness about it, which means to me The way that the cognac and the peach interact with each other, it's almost having a peach schnapps inside of a oud fragrance. That for me right there is one of the best unique calling cards of this particular bottle of perfume. Amber Aquilaria is one that I think has one of the best evolutions in perfumery. It goes on with a abundance of resinous boozy accords, then goes into this warm spiciness, and then this ultimate sexy and sensual woodiness, while staying very polished and very posh and professional at the same time. I think all you guys would be just, it's a head turner, head just scratcher of a fragrance as well, because not only is it beautiful, but every time I wear this one, this is actually a fragrance that has so much duplicity to it. It smells one way one day, and the next day it smells totally different on my skin and in the air. Once again, Electimus by the House of, or Amber Aquilaria by the House of Electimus. Beautiful scent. Gentlemen, next up on this list, I have a fragrance here by the House of XERJOFF. This is from their OUD Star collection. And this is one that I think many of you guys should get your nose on as well. This is Malaysia. This is a very beautiful, warm, spicy, Gurjum Balsam, oud, and amber accorded fragrance that comes off so well with the Sisters Labdanum style of amber. And the oud in this one is this Laotian oud that is so seductive and sweet and sexy. It has a great musk accord. It has an Indian sandalwood in it. It has a lot of vanilla. And one of the things about this one is very much so an uptick in balsamic accords, which makes the oud and amber in this slightly sticky, slightly resinous, gooey feeling, but ultimately it's a sexy fragrance that comes off phenomenally. This is one that once it goes from the first opening of the animalic style of oud, which is a capturing note and captivating note itself, it goes into those balsamic accords of Gurjum Balsam and Tolu Balsam, along with that Sisters Labdanum and the oud, and it's also one of my favorite white foil accords, which is the Lily of the Valley. Malaysia, it to me is a very beautiful hidden gem amongst the amber and oud fragrances, and especially amongst oud fragrances as well. I think all you guys, every one of these fragrances is one that I find highly polished, highly presentable, and highly recommendable. Malaysia is no sleeper. Get your nose on it. By the House of XERJOFF, OUD Stars collection, Malaysia. Very beautiful. Like I said, ambre, Sisters Labdanum, sandalwood, Tolu Balsam, vanilla, a little bit of tonka beans in this as well for the sweet factor. Can't go wrong with it in my honest opinion, especially if you're an oud lover. Get your nose on it, guys. Next up, guys, let's talk about a sleeper house. Well, it's coming a factor now more and more than I ever thought it would, so I will take that back. It's no longer a sleeper house. This is a house that is on the come up, and this is Arabian Oud, the House of Arabian Oud, and this is KALEMAT Black. KALEMAT Black is a beautiful, enriching, incense, fruity accorded, and basil opening amber oud fragrance that is heavy in vanilla, heavy in sweetness, heavy in the Cambodian oud, a lot of woody accords. To me, it comes off milky, sandalwoody, very sensual, very sexual style of amber, that high content of vanilla amber with a little bit of benzoin inside of it. KALEMAT Black is one, I know when I got this particular fragrance, I think it was going in the low 100s. I think now this thing goes from the mid 200s right now, so it's one that's going up in price the last time I checked. Like I said, this is a compliment magnet as well. I've had many of my friends and family asked me exactly what I was wearing when I wore this around a couple times during last Christmas, where I wore this a lot, pulled it out a lot during the Christmas break and Christmas vacation for friends and family to come and have a get-togethers with us. Many people asked me what this was because it was such a head turner during that season. Slightly fruity, slightly spicy. The basil is this herbaceous feel, but it doesn't smell like any basil you've ever smelled before. You get the herbaceousness, but when you depict it, it doesn't come off as basil. It comes off as a slightly green floral-like accord. Then that amber and oud, just phenomenal the way it goes inside of KALEMAT Black by the House of Arabian Oud. Get your nose on this one, guys. This is one phenomenal smelling Arabic perfume that you cannot go wrong with. Trust me on that. Ladies and gentlemen, next up on this list is, you know how it represents. XERJOFF can really come through for me with fragrances, and this one here is from the newest collection that they presented maybe 2 years ago, I believe. It used to be Kimmy, now that it's running inside of XERJOFF, like they took in the Velvet collection. But this is ASTARAL, and ASTARAL is one of the most beautiful, spicy accorded amber and oud fragrances that I've come across in the last 2 years. The way it presents, the way it develops. It has this accord in the opening called Shamama Accord, which I'd never heard of. Very unique journey, the way that takes you, very unbelievably unique in the way it presents itself across the broad spectrum of the fragrance. This has a lot of rose in it, a lot of oud, a lot of sisters ladanum, a lot of pink pepper and patchouli as well. So it comes off as this earthy, seductive, chocolatey style of fragrance with a little bit of oud and amber in the base that really much so carries the fragrance in its opening, mid to base dry down. The oud is consistently there, the amber is consistently there, and it's the spicy, resonant style of amber, more of the styrax and benzoin style of amber that you can just feel the resonance feel of it, and it's just so sexy the way it comes off. Agarwood, amber wood is in this one as well. It's that amber wood that you would find inside of Baccarat Rouge 540, so it's that very sweet, seductive, almost calling card for sensuality, as I like to say. So ASTARAL is one that you should get your nose on for the coming fall and winter of 2024. This is a beautiful fragrance for you guys to get your nose on. ASTARAL by the House of XERJOFF. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, in this particular list, I'm just going to keep going hit after hit, banger after banger, just beautiful scent after beautiful scent. This is a discontinued fragrance by the House of Kilian. This is one of my prized possessions in my Kilian collection. This is one that's so sought after that many people have contacted me after talking about it to see if I would actually sell my bottle for almost $600. And I was, while intrigued, it's a no factor for me to even sell any of these bottles right now. But all in all, Amber Oud is one seductively made vanilla, pepper, spice, amber and oud fragrance that really comes off so seductive as well. It's one of the sweeter Amber Ouds in my collection. It has this special effect of what I think is, they don't put it in the note selection, but it comes off almost like a bay leaf or a laurel. The way that oily texture of greenness can flow from that particular scent accord and oil. It's a very beautiful Atlas cedar. All spices in this one, amber like I stated, and vanilla. Very gorgeous scent the way it wears, man. One that is actually the actual scent of amber and oud that got me into the genre when I picked this up about 10 years ago. The genre didn't escape me. I smelled things from it before, but it wasn't attractive to me until I found Amber and Oud by the House of Kilian and its oud collection, the Arabian Nights collection. And it's one you couldn't pry away from my hands at all right now. So once again, Amber Oud by the House of Kilian, a beautiful scent. And if you can find it somewhere on the market, I would say if you're in the market for it and you see it for a nice price, to grab it if you can, because it is one that may or may not come back. We know how Kilian does, but right now, the way this one has gone off in my life and on my skin, and as a genre builder for me, Amber Oud is one of the very best in that genre of fragrances. Amber Oud by the House of Kilian. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, what I got here for you is The Oud by Pierre de Valais. Pierre de Valais is a company built off of the brainchild of Roja Parfums and Roja Dove himself. Roja Dove is the actual perfumer behind the actual company Pierre de Valais. And he came out with the Oud last winter, and I picked it up just out of curiosity and sheer belief in what he does with his oud fragrances, and I was not disappointed. When I first got this, I did have a factor in my mind where it didn't have great performance, but after wearing this particular scent around people, then allowing me in my haste to not be as crucial as I was in my first impression, because it was a scent that I smelled, sprayed it on and just gave it a whiff and was like, oh, it's good, and then an hour later said, I can't smell it. Yeah. What happened after that was that in the days going past that and in the year since then, this has become one of my favorite fragrances from the House of Roja and his collection of perfumed fragrances. This is a very spicy take on oud and amber. It's one that is built around the styrax amber, and that styrax amber along with the benzoin is one beautiful, lush smelling, heady, gorgeous orange and geranium opening with a lot of magnolia and jasmine with a little bit of Roja's beautifully made ylang ylang and jasmine accorded mid-section of a fragrance. If you were into oud fragrances, this for me, I can let you know, honestly, this can be a reference fragrance when it comes to the oud accords that he has put into this one are phenomenally made. It's a very gorgeous wearing fragrance. It is one that actually has become, in my honest opinion, after wearing it, a beast mode fragrance, which is surprising because, like I said at first, I couldn't smell it. And that's because it was so powerful. It inundated my nose with the spiciness, and actually a few accords, the way it went off, I couldn't really decipher it, and so my nose started going nose blind to it, and then I referenced it as just a normal wearing, normal perfume performance. But over the last year or so, and then this past winter, this thing is a beast mode of a fragrance. And Pierre de Valet, the OUD, deserves you guys' attention when it comes to OUD and amber based fragrances. If you have a chance to or opportunity to, I do know they sell the 7.5 ml fragrance bottles and vials, so they could sell that for, I believe, like $80 to $60. So if you got a chance to get your nose on that one, do so, because it is a non-sleeper as well when it comes to the amber and OUD genre of fragrances. It's a very beautiful accorded scent that I have fallen in love with. The OUD by Pierre de Valet and Roger Parfums. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a gem of perfume as well. This is another one from the house of Roger Dove, and this is the fragrance Alexandria 2. Today I chose to present you guys with the oil-based form, the attar. The attar is so rich, so beautiful, full of musk, lily of the valley, and palisander wood, that it just is one of the most phenomenal head-turning fragrances. You guys have heard about this scent. It's nothing that I need to go on and wax poetic about. This is one that I love to dab on in conjunction with the actual perfume spray. So this one I'll take along with me, do a few dabs on the wrist, dab behind each ear, and then I'll envelop myself with 2 or 3 sprays of the perfume spray, the EDP, and I am done for the day in a 12-hour time span. This will go off just beautifully, very musky, very woody with the palisander wood. This one doesn't have the apple accord, which the others do represent to bring up a little bit higher in the apple accord. But this one overall, as the essence, as the mid to base of that fragrance, is one phenomenal scent when it comes to amber and OUD scents. Once again, Alexandria 2 by the house of XERJOFF, the attar version. Gorgeous amber and OUD fragrance. I'm smelling it. This thing seeps through the bottle. That's how oily it is. You can see it on my hands and fingertips right there. This is one phenomenal, just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous wearing fragrance. And it just, this is a head turner. This one actually, to me, it deserves a category of its own, but you know, to play the game. A2. I love this scent, man. All right, guys, we're getting down to the last 4 in this list, man, and these are very coveted fragrances. These are fragrances with a lot of scent memory, fragrances with a lot of history in my life, and a lot of compliments when it comes to this particular genre of fragrances. Now, I haven't ranked this list, and I will not rate this list, because I think all of these have a position that is on par with each other in the way that the accords come across and actually present themselves. But there are some that have greater memory and greater textual concept for me, and content and context for me when I wear these and have worn these and have gotten life memories from them. So the first one in the 4 of that genre of amber OUD, when I talk about real personal fragrance wearing, SAHRAA by the house of Fragrance Du Bois is one phenomenally made extrait fragrance, man. This here is one, if not the best fragrance from the house of Fragrance Du Bois. Very sensual. This one here takes the genre to a different level, the way it opens with a grapefruit accord. The grapefruit is very present, it's very effervescent feeling, but it goes directly into the floral heart and woody base of this one, and the base along with the mid of this one is phenomenal. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance that I think all of you guys and ladies should get your nose on. This is one of the very best formulated fragrances I've ever smelled in my journey so far in perfume collecting. Like I said, grapefruit, rose, geranium, patchouli, and jasmine in the mid. The base is a saffron, ambre pepper mix with a lot of vanilla and sandalwood, with that ultimate essence of OUD wood that they farm themselves at Fragrance Du Bois. Man, this is, I could wax poetic, like I said, about a lot of the fragrances. But this one here is a very special fragrance in my life, a very special fragrance in my collection. And I think that you guys will be honestly well surprised, very surprised, I should say, at how this fragrance smells on your skin, in the air, and how the compliment factor comes with this particular OUD fragrance. SAHRAA by the house of Fragrance Du Bois. Beautiful, man. Next up, guys, I'm heavy hitters, man. One after the other. This is a genre that I love, and I'm hitting you with a lot of fragrances here. This one here is NEFS, and NEFS by the house of Nichane is, to me, their very best offering. This one is a very Beautiful fragrance based around a honey accord, nutmeg, virgin balsam, incense, vanilla, and of course the ambre oud combination that is just supplanted in this beautiful category for me. The ultimate love song for this one is the way that they place Fig in the mid of this one, and it sings a very beautiful heart song throughout the lifespan of this fragrance and its evolution on your skin. A gorgeous, gorgeous wearing fragrance that I think all of you guys should get your nose on as well. NEFS by the house of Nichane, man. These are top 5, top 4, type 3, type 2, type 1 type of fragrances I'm hitting you with right now, guys. These are gorgeous, 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 unique, well-developing, just well-wearing projection monsters that have a lot of compelling character behind them, and I love the way this one smells, man. Once again, Nichane NEFS. Get your nose on it, guys. One of my favorite of all time. Next up, guys, like I said, every time I pick up one, I'm just smiling, man. This is Roja Dove's Amber AOUD Crystal Edition. Fig, ambergris, amber, sandalwood, fig, rose, ylang ylang. 25 fragrance notes, and all accumulates to one beautiful, beautiful fragrance that I think is a top 1 or 2 fragrance in all-time wear for me. This is one of the most gorgeous fragrances on the entire market. To me, this is one phenomenal wear. This is a fragrance, man, that is the ultimate in a love song to a person, to another. If you wear this fragrance in front of another person and around another person, especially someone you're looking to be connected to, someone you're looking to be connected with, this can be you guys' vow in a nutshell, man. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous wearing fragrance. Fig, rose, oud, amber, white florals, ambergris, sandalwood. I mean, it's just a phenomenal scent. Like I said, this is a vow, man. This is one of those scents. If you're looking to get married and you want a wedding fragrance to remember for the rest of your life, Amber AOUD by the house of Roja Parfums is the one. Beautiful scent, man. Last up on this list, ladies and gentlemen, this is OUD AMBER by the house of Cartier. This is their upscale line, La Pressure line, I believe it's called. This is pressure, to say the least, man. This particular 75 ml bottle of perfume is one of the most stunning amber oud fragrances on the entire market, and it is one that captured my heart from first sniff, one that captured my heart from first impression. I smelled this fragrance by hearing about it from another perfume reviewer, Kevin Samuels. He's made a statement about this when I was intrigued. I got it on the blind buy, and as soon as I smelled it, I titled this my #1 fragrance of all time, and it has very much so stood the test of that time by coming off so beautiful in the way that it's 2 notes is what they list, amber and oud, but you smell a lot of spices, a lot of white florals, a lot of red florals. Nothing that's distinctive in the way it comes off, but it is that very beautiful benzoin and labdanum style of amber, slightly less in the vanilla because it's not as sweet as the rest of these fragrances, but it comes off spicy, very woody, very contemptuous of love affairs that just brings about a very carnal and sexy nature about yourself. And when you wear this, this is one of the best wintertime polished fragrances that you can wear in your life. If you guys ever have a chance to get your nose on OUD AMBER by the house of Cartier, you will not be disappointed. I am for certain. Beautiful scent, man. Beautiful scent. Especially, I'll say that with a caveat, if you're one that enjoys the scents that I put out for you guys, OUD AMBER is a beautiful scent. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my list for you guys today. Today we explored my collection of OUD AMBER fragrances, one that is very near and dear to my heart, one that really has captivated me to explore this genre as one of my most compelling genres of fragrances to dive into. It's a very expensive genre to dive into, so very much so get your samples first. But these are fragrances that for many who have brought into contact with them and showed my collection have taken my friends and family on a journey as well. Very beautiful, very sensual, very carnal in nature, and very, very becoming of a true elegant individual. Get your nose on the OUD AMBERs of the world, guys. These are very beautiful fragrances. Until next time, until next video, peace.